A few years ago, I either walked or took an Uber whenever I needed to go somewhere. I never even thought about owning a vehicle. Meanwhile, my friend was living large. He had a brand new SUV, a sleek black beauty. Not a necessity, but a statement. Then he bought a house, had a big, expensive wedding, took 2 international vacations every year. But then, at the start of 2024, everything changed. He lost his job. Within a few months, he started getting calls from debt collectors. Before he knew it, he had to sell his car, then his house, all to keep himself from drowning in payments. I was there the day they came to take his car, and it wasn't just hard for him, it was hard for me to watch. It made me think, how did things go so wrong? And the answer was simple. He had nothing left. No savings. It was all spent on lifestyle expenses. A wedding that looked great on Instagram, a house that felt more like a liability than an asset, and vacations that made for great stories, but left him with nothing when real life hit. This is why I believe looking poor might make you rich. And more importantly, this is why some habits keep you financially stuck without you even realizing it. The first mistake: prioritizing wants over needs. My friend needed transportation, sure, but did he need that expensive SUV with sky-high maintenance costs? The kind of car where a single repair bill could make you regret ever buying it? No, he wanted it because it looked good. It made him feel successful. It gave him social proof. But that social proof vanished the moment the bank came knocking. Then there was the wedding. Of course, a wedding is a special day, but what most people don't realize is that weddings are an industry. An industry designed to make sure that your special day isn't just special for your heart, but for your wallet too. There's no limit to how much you can spend on a wedding. Venues, catering, decor, photography, outfits, rings, the list goes on. And thanks to social media, the pressure to have a Pinterest-perfect wedding is at an all-time high. But what happens after the party's over? The bill still needs to be paid. And then there were the vacations. 2 international trips a year. Because apparently there's nothing left to see in the US. This is the trap of social media-driven spending. We chase an image of success rather than actually building it. Warren Buffett has a great quote for this. If you buy things you do not need, soon you will have to sell things you need. And that's exactly what happened to my friend. But let's be clear, this isn't about living like you're broke. The goal isn't to deny yourself everything. The goal is to set your priorities right. Take me, for example. Right now, I get everywhere on my scooter. It's practical, efficient, and in a city with bad traffic, it's a lifesaver. I don't need a car right now, so I don't own one. But I know that in the future, there will come a time when I do. And when that time comes, I'm going to make a practical choice, not an emotional one. I won't be buying a car to impress anyone. I'll be buying it because I actually need it. Same with my laptop. I spend a lot of time working on it, so I invested in a previous generation MacBook. Not the latest model, not the flashiest one, but something reliable, lightweight, and efficient. That's all I needed. Every extra dollar I save goes into 2 places: my emergency fund or my investments. This is the difference. My spending choices align with my values. I value convenience and time, so I use a 2-wheeler. I value reliability and efficiency, so I got a laptop that fits my needs, without breaking the bank. When your spending aligns with your values, you win. Now let's talk about one of the biggest financial traps today: smartphones. It's insane how many people are putting $1,000 or more into a phone when a $300, $400 phone could do 95% of the same things. You can text, call, browse, take pictures, use apps, do everything you actually need to do. And yet, people are stretching their finances thin just to own the newest iPhone or Samsung model. The crazy part? A lot of them are financing it. They're making monthly payments on a phone. That's like renting your own possessions. I'm not saying don't buy a good phone. I'm saying be practical. For most people, a phone budget shouldn't exceed $400 to $500. Anything beyond that, you're not paying for a phone, you're paying for status. And here's the harsh truth: Rich people don't get rich by buying expensive gadgets. They get rich by investing in skills that make them more money. That extra $1,000 you're putting toward an iPhone? It could have funded an online course that levels up your career. It could have covered a gym membership that keeps you healthy and sharp. Because here's what rich people really don't do. They don't spend thousands of dollars on things that depreciate. Speaking of which, let me share 2 timeless financial rules that separate the wealthy from everyone else. The first is simple. Save before you spend. This is a non-negotiable habit. The moment you get paid, take a percentage of that money and move it into a separate savings account. Don't even think about it, just automate it. If you set up an automatic transfer into a high-yield savings account or a recurring investment, you won't even feel the money leaving. But over time, that money builds. That's how, 1 year later, you realize you have thousands saved up. That's how you fund vacations without going into debt. That's how you buy things when you need them, without financing them. The second rule, get insurance. Health insurance and life insurance are 2 things rich people never skip. Not because they're paranoid, but because they understand the importance of protecting wealth. Most Americans are one medical emergency away from financial ruin. A single unexpected hospital visit could wipe out your savings, put you into medical debt, and destroy years of financial progress. That's why insurance matters. It doesn't just protect your health, it protects your bank account. Now, all of this comes down to one thing: long-term vision. If you're watching this, I'm guessing you want financial freedom. You want the option to work on your terms. Maybe you still want to work in your 40s and 50s, but you don't want to be grinding 60-hour weeks. Maybe you want a hybrid schedule. Maybe you want to work just 3 or 4 days a week and spend more time with your family. And guess what? The world is already moving in that direction. Remote work is becoming normal. In a few years, a 4-day work week might not even be a luxury, it might be standard. But if you want that future, you have to start making smart choices now. So here's my question. Are you willing to make small sacrifices today so you can live better tomorrow? For me, that means driving a scooter instead of a car right now. It means using a slightly older laptop instead of chasing the latest model. It means spending money on things that add value, not things that just look good. Are you ready to do the same? If you got value from this video, hit like, share it with someone who needs to hear this, and don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next one.